Ndị Igbo ekene m unu. Asị m ka nke echukwelu ya zelu. Anyị si ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ. Mmiri atara m azụ anwụra. Asa dara mma na eke, dara mma na orie, fọzara mma na afọ, fọzara mma na nkwọ. Ụzọ ahịa anọ nke ndị Igbo ji biri. Asị na ya dara n'Igbo na mma o. Ise, ise, ise. Dịka o si dị ka agbapụ na ya ọsọ igosi na ya bụ ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa. Na tupu anyị aga n'igosi na ya bụ ife, ọ bụla nke a bụ ụbọchị izu gị. Ị na-ejete afọ channel aya n'Igbo akwụkwọ ka baro ka like and subscribe o. Tinyekwa kọmentị, share ekwe ya, tụsa ya bụ ozi ka ụmụnne anyị dị n'ebe dị iche iche wee na ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo a. Dịka o si dị, ihe wetara unu tata bụ nnukwu update dị oke mkpa. Mma nchọ ka onye ọbụla misie ya. Mma nchọ ka ị ga ya bụ ife, ị ga-esi ya bụ ife wetara unu gbasa maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya. And nwere ndị Igbo na-azọ drop your own comment.
If you go to DSSS Correctional Center there, you will see a lot of people that they packed there. Even their people thought that they are even dead. Now, what is running in the southeast now is, if you want to weaken somebody, just put up a petition against the person to DSSS that is a member of IPOB or a member of ESN. They will just come and pick the person 1 a.m. in the morning, 2 a.m. without any warrant of arrest, and they will now dump the person and rush to Federal High Court, relying on under Section 27 of the Terrorism Prevention Act that gives the DSSS power to get an order to detain somebody investigating accused of terrorism.
Joining us now to discuss why Emefiele's detention by the DSS is considered illegal is Maxwell Okpara, a lawyer. Good morning, Mr. Okpara, and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here once again. Good morning, Dr. Bati. Good morning, RFI. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Nigerians.
Morning.
Thank you for joining us. Well, Ayo just referred to the statement.
It's my pleasure.
The statement issued by Dr. Afunaya, the DSS spokesperson, on Monday, in which he said, one, whatever may have happened at the court, at the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, Lagos, was unfortunate, and that the service has ordered investigations into it. But that rearresting Mr. Emefiele, as the DSS did, was legally procedural. And that the DSS has a lot of respect for the judiciary as an institution. And its subsequent detention of Mr. Emefiele is on the basis of a magistrate court order. First, the DSS, he explained, had gone to the Federal High Court, Abuja, where the justice then, the presiding judge, said, look, the appropriate place to go in line with ACJA is the magistrate court, and that they have an order in that regard. And that it is not true, as is being alleged, that the DSS is disobeying court orders. Do you agree with Dr. Peter Afunaya?
Thank you, Dr. Abati. I have with me in the studio the 14 paragraph statement of Mr. Peter Afunaya, PhD, the Public Relations Officer of DSSS. I want to start by saying that he started deceiving Nigerians with his paragraph 1, where he said that the DSSS has religiously obeyed court orders. Has religiously obeyed court orders. Dr. Bati, this is the case against Maxwell Okpara and DSSS. When I went to visit my client nnamdi, I was assaulted, I was intimidated, my right was violated. Thereafter, I approached Federal High Court. And after my argument and what I filed, Federal High Court agreed with my submission that yes, my right was violated. I asked for 500 million naira, but Federal High Court awarded 5 million naira in my favor and ordered DSSS to tender apology to me and published in 2 national dailies. This judgment was delivered on April 4th, 2022. This is over a year now. They have not complied with it and they did not appeal against it. Dr. Bati, this is my client, Chidebere Echefo. Chidebere Echefo was having an issue with one of his clients. The person put up a petition against Chidiebere Echefo, that Chidiebere Echefo is a member of IPOB. DSSS went to his house very early in the morning by 3 a.m., picked him. The family members went to all the whole police formation, all the whole DSSS formation. They told them that Chidiebere Echefo was not there. So after 1 year, they decided to go to church to do Thanksgiving and remembrance with the hope that with the conclusion that Chidiebere is dead. Only for somebody that was released in DSSS office there in Aso Drive, came out and called the wife of Chidiebere Echefo, said, please, I just came out I was just released from DSSS now. I met your husband with unknown number. I met your husband. He said that I should tell you that he is still alive, that you should get a lawyer to come for him. Dr. Abati, that was when I went to file enforcement of fundamental rights for Chidiebere Echefo. And it was assigned before Justice Ogbonna. Oh, lo and behold, DSSS now filed a counter saying that they detained Chidiebere Echefo with Federal High Court order, that they were investigating him of terrorism. Now, after everything, court ordered that they should release Chidiebere Echefo. And Dr. Abati, the judgment was given on Friday, 11th day of March, 2022. My Dr. Abati, today is 11th day of August, 2023, over 1 year. Nobody appealed against the judgment. As I speak to you, Chidiebere Echefo is still there. Dr. Abati, I can go on Arinze. I don't have his own judgment here. I also have gone to court. Court ordered that they should be released. They refused. My colleague, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, has about, I think, 5. Nnamdi Ejiofor, we have a lot of all these court orders. If you go to DSSS Correctional Center there, you will see a lot of people that they packed there. Even their people thought that they are even dead. Now, what is running in the southeast now is, if you want to weaken somebody, just put up a petition against the person to DSSS that is a member of IPOB or a member of ESN. They will just come and pick the person 1 a.m. in the morning, 2 a.m. without any warrant of arrest, and they will now dump the person and rush to Federal High Court, relying on Section 27 of the Terrorism Prevention Act that gives the DSSS power to get an order to detain somebody investigating accused of terrorism, then subject to renewal. That particular section, I have challenged it in a Federal High Court, but the court said no, that since they will come to court, the court is exercising their power under Section 6. That one is the talk of another day. The point I'm trying to make is that his first paragraph, where he said that they have religiously obeyed court orders, I have just given you one with evidence. I will leave it for you. Then secondly, in their paragraph 2 of the same statement, coming to Emefiele now, they said that, okay, let me just finish with the disobedience of a court order. Okay. Now, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Omadike, one of Igbo land, was discharged, and the Court of Appeal ordered that on no condition should DSSS arrest or detain or even commence any further investigation against him, because they flouted they did not follow the due process in bringing him from Kenya to Nigeria. The judgment was there. DSSS refused to comply that order. The first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, the sixth day, the seventh day, until on the 8th day, when they now file notice of, when they now file a motion for stay of execution. Now, before Court of Appeal now granted them that stay of execution. The question there is that for that, before that motion for that, before filing and granting of that motion for stay of execution, that 8 days, DSSS never complied with it. What we are just waiting for Supreme Court to finish. Probably when it comes out, we are now suing DSSS and the federal government of Nigeria on that, because on that particular 8 days, they disobeyed court orders. Now that one is on that. I don't want to go into some other judgment we have gotten in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even we are court ordered that they should pay him 1 billion, and they have not even complied with that. Coming to this of Emefiele.
Okay, I want to ask a question with regards to that. So maybe you would answer them, you answer collectively, you answer as a collective. So you had instituted, or a group of human rights lawyers led by yourself had instituted a contempt proceeding against the DG of DSS, Mr. Yusebichi, in July. And what you had prayed the court for was to commit DSS DG to prison until he purges himself of the contempt. What's the update on that particular case?
No date has been given to us. Apart from that one of Federal High Court, we have also filed, when you file this from 48, it's the registrar of the court that will issue that decision. We have filed, they have not issued, so we don't know what is going on. The one I filed and the one in several courts against the DSSS, the court have not issued the Form 48 because we don't have the power. The law said it's the court that will issue the Form 48. They will sign it and stamp it, the registrar of the court. So they have not done that. So I'm not the court, I'm not the registrar, so my own is to file. Their own is to do the needful.
Okay, let's quickly go to...
So can I go ahead?
I want you to state some other cases too that the DSS violated the court order so we can have all these cases brought to the fore so that people can learn. Secondly, I also want you to talk about that provisions in ACJA that gives them the chance to be able to detain somebody for as long as they want.
Okay. Now, I'm coming to that. Now, in paragraph 2 of that his statement, I'm quoting his statement now. He said that in 2002, the service commenced investigation of Mr. Emefiele on suspicion of terrorism, financing, and money laundering. Now, this is the statement. Now, this is what they're investigating. Now, in the paragraph 3, they said they approached Federal High Court to arrest. Federal High Court said, no, you don't need my order to arrest. You can go ahead and do your arrest since it has to do with terrorism. Now, they have arrested Emefiele. Since we are investigating him on terrorism, financing, and money laundering, you're supposed to rely on Section 27 of Terrorism Prevention Act to approach Federal High Court to keep him for 90 days. That is what the law said. When you arrest, if you are investigating, it's through motion ex parte. You now approach Federal High Court. Now, they never did that. Only for when people now approach court, Honorable Justice Kawo and Justice Muazu now gave an order that you should release this man on you arraign him in court. Everybody is waiting for them to come up with the investigation and the investigation report on terrorism. Lo and behold, what we saw is illegal possession of firearm. Now the question there is this a case of illegal possession of firearm that you approach Federal High Court, which was rejected? Now, it is their right. They have arraigned him in court for illegal possession of firearm. Now, after his arraignment, he take his plea. Court ordered that he should be granted bail. But pending when he will perfect the condition for bail, he should be remanded at Correctional Center. That was the Federal High Court order. Now, when the Correctional Center was about to take Emefiele to their center, they said no, that they got an information that order from above not to comply with the court order. I was in court. JB Daudu, SAN, put a call to NBA president to inform him, to put him on notice what was going on. I personally called Tony Ojukwu of National Human Rights Commission. Look at what was going on. Now, we now address the press. Now, JB Daudu SAN notified the court because the court was still sitting. Look at what was going on. The court called the leader of DSSS. Is that true that you people want to arrest Emefiele here? They said yes. The judge said no. The court is now in charge. You cannot arrest him without any order. There is a subsisting order. So if you have any other issue, go and file it and bring it in court. The man there in the court said, no, sir. We are not going to obey your court. We must take order from above. That was when the show of shame started, when they started beating the hitting and disgracing, assaulting the staff of a senior staff of a correctional center. Now, the question there is that, as at that particular time, you arrested Emefiele, you arrested Emefiele, there was a subsisting court order. Even as I speak to you, that particular court order has not been set aside. The only court that can set aside that particular order is Court of Appeal, not Magistrate Court, or the court that issued the order can overrule itself and set aside its own order if you meet up with the criteria. But that they never did. They rearrested Emefiele. The following day, they came to Federal FCT High Court to get an order to legalize that their illegality. The judge pretended as if he was not aware of what happened in Federal High Court. He now asked them to address them with respect to AGJA. That is Administration of Criminal Justice Act. So one expected them to take a date to address the court on that, whether that court has the power to give them that order. Lucky enough, Emeka Begolo SAN, who was one of the senior counsel representing Emefiele, was in court in that day. He said, no, my lord. He informed the court. The lawyer jumped, said, he's an ex parte. You have no right of audience. Emeka Begolo said, no, Supreme Court has ruled on this. If that ex parte has to do with somebody's right, court should be aware. So based on that, when they discover that we have noticed their forum shopping and in disobeying the court order, they withdraw that particular charge. They withdraw that particular application. As at that time, there was still existing a court order from Federal High Court. Now, they started moving from one Federal High Court to another, from one State High Court to another, to get the order to perfect their illegality. So when they were unable to get that, only for us to hear through this his statement that they kept Emefiele with magistrate court order. Now the question now we are asking is that, can you use magistrate court order to set aside an order given by Federal High Court? Magistrate court is an inferior court. That is the question we are asking. Then, as if that one is not enough, since we are investigating Emefiele for terrorism, financing, and money laundering, why not approach Federal High Court, relying on that order, Section 27 of the Terrorism Prevention Act, to keep him for 90 days? But they discovered that no Federal High Court will listen to them. That's why they decided to go to Magistrate Court. And we have asked that particular Magistrate Court that issued this order should be sanctioned. The lawyer that indulged in this forum shopping, which actions contravenes the provisions of the Legal Practitioners Act, should send to Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee for discipline. So these are the issues we are talking about. As we stand now, that particular order by Federal High Court is still subsisting. Now, they approached Federal High Court, that was yesterday, asking Federal High Court to give them leave to appeal against that particular order. In other words, that particular order is still subsisting, and there is no motion for stay. Why are you still keeping Emefiele? Now, the question there is that we have seen how our president is talking about what is happening in Niger. One of the criteria of democracy is not even through ballot. It's not even when you enter into power through ballot, where you fail to obey rule of law. That is the worst of it. It is impunity in the highest order. So I expected ECOWAS yesterday when they were discussing about what is going on in Niger. They should also think about what gave rise to that. In a situation whereby the government cannot obey court order, we are in anarchy. And you cannot beat a child and expect and say that the child should not cry. So that is what we are talking about. So this particular statement, Afunaya just stated, is full of deceit. They want to deceive Nigerians. Nnamdi is there now. Yes, they may say that they have regularized their illegality by Court of Appeal motion for stay of execution. But remember that motion for stay of execution Before it was granted, nnamdi Kanu's right has been violated. We are still coming to that. Why we have prepared the processes for it, but we want Supreme Court to finish their own before we now come up with that. Then you are not talking about, you now say that in that paragraph, I think that should be paragraph 6 of that statement, where he said that paragraph 3. He said, paragraph 4, he said that the DSSS, though the arrest was tainted by overzealous of their personnel and Nigerian Correctional Services, but nonetheless, it was procedural, legally procedural. Please, I want to call this Afunaya of a man. He should call himself to order. He should stop deceiving Nigeria. You don't even need a law degree for you to know that once court gives an order, and this is not an order to release, he said an order to keep. So if you have an issue that you feel that you want to keep Emefiele more than necessary, as the DSS Correctional Services takes him to comply with the court order and take Emefiele to their center, you can still file a motion notifying the court that based on this particular evidence, we are still investigating this man, and releasing this man will not allow us to carry out investigation very well. You put the other party on notice. Now, and write to the Controller General of Correctional Services for them to be aware, so that even if Emefiele perfects his bail condition, the judge will not sign that order for release because of their motion. The court will say, okay, I will not sign it. Let me hear their motion before I sign it. Because one thing, when you perfect your bail condition, for the correctional service to obey, the judge must sign that order to release. That is the procedure. So I don't know what he's trying to do to justify the illegalities and the unlawful attitude actions of the SSS. It's unjustifiable. There's no way you can justify
Maxwell,
it. So what we are saying is that as we speak now, our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu lack the morality to talk about what is happening in Niger, because he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. You are disobeying court order using your agents. And how do you want the Nigerians to take you serious? So you should be able to say, give directives, any order that, because we are talking about democracy is predicated on rule of law. Even during the military.
Maxwell Okpara, can you hear me?
When they were giving judgment in the Supreme Court, they were giving out.
Yeah, I was trying to, interrupt you there. Let's take a quick break before we come back to you, and then we'll wrap up the conversation. We'll be right. Our guest is still Maxwell Okpara, a lawyer. Maxwell Okpara, well, I was trying to, butt in earlier on, but I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Very well, I can hear loud and clear.
Very quickly, we have just
yes, very well, I can hear you.
We have just a few minutes to go, and I would like your response to be very brief. You've been talking about the DSS and the statement by Dr. Afunaya, the spokesperson. But the same DSS said you are an overzealous, uninformed charge and bail lawyer. What do you have to say in your defense? And also, what are the next options for you? Because you've put before us, before the public, a catalog of concerns. Briefly, please.
Well, I don't have much issue with DSS, because when I saw that, and I thought that their Twitter handle is being hijacked, but immediately I confirmed it. I wrote a letter to the National Security Advisor. I wrote to the President. I wrote to the Senate President, to the Speaker, to the NBA President. I have written to them, and they have responded. A few of them has responded. So I have written to Twitter, I think, for allowing their platform, because if you allow your platform to be used to defame somebody's character, I think I should be concentrate on the person that they allow their platform to use. Yeah, even that their Twitter complied with their own rules, because they have a rule that you don't use their platform to defame somebody. So they allowed it. So I have also written to them. So, and I demanded just a patronage fee of 5 billion naira. And the 1 week I gave them has expired. So I have prepared my processes. So I'm just waiting for vacation to be off. By first week of September, I will file. Though I also join DSS. So on that particular issue, I may not go talk much about it because Nigerians has responded to them. I hear them saying, and I learned that they put down that funny comments after 9 days. But that will not exonerate them from being liable. So Rufai, this is something I do for others. Is it my own that I will not do? I file some people's right whose people whose right is being violated. Is it my own that I will not do? I will do my own and do it perfectly. And I just gave them that listen. I just say 5 billion naira. So, but we had they allow me to go to court. I will just make it to 20 billion. So that is where we are.
Ndị be anyị ekenekwanụ m unu dịka unu si wepụta oge unu igekwa ya bụ ife nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa eji maka ya wee bịa n'iru akwụkwọ na Igbo Media bụ ebe anyị si wee na-wetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya ana gbasịta maka nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ ana gbasịta maka Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ladies dịka ị nụrụ ihe nwanne anyị wegekwu n'iru akwụkwọ ka efi were ikwu n'udo nke gị asị gị kwuo ka efi were ikwu maka na otu aka o jedebe njọ ọ ya adịkwanụ mma ọgwụ na ọtụ ụmụnne m achọrọ m ka unu tinyere anyị alụ nke unu ife unu chere n'iru akwụkwọ ikwucha ya bụ ife kapa arụsị ya kwurụta ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ntị darụrụ nne na ụmụnne m kpọmọ na-ege ntị anyị na-ekene ndị nnekunu si na-esoyere anyị